Good morning, I'm Dirk Swanevelder. I'm a senior researcher at the ARC-Biotechnology platform here on the Onderstepoort campus, where I work on plant-related, environmentally related, and sometimes animal-related projects. So the biotechnology platform has started about 13 years ago. It's a cross-cutting platform where we provide services and support for the other campuses in 3 areas mainly: animal research, plant research, and environmental research. We are mainly focusing on technologies, so we have got next generation sequencing capacity in the building, different versions of that, as well as phenomics capacity, and I'm one of the drivers of the phenomics unit. So both the containment facility here with phenomics and the in-field scanner at grain crops in Potchefstroom. So my research is actually quite wide. My main focus is now on genetic engineering or gene editing of plants mainly. We have got a couple of projects with industry in that regard. Those are confidential, so I can't say more. But the idea basically is to use editing technologies to make minimal changes in the genome to provide a specific trait in the crop without leaving any foreign DNA in the final product. Then I also work with other campuses on other projects relating to animal health, regarding the development of a host depletion system with this campus, the Onderstepoort campus, of colleagues here, where we try to remove the host material in a sample when you do next generation sequencing so that the cost becomes lower. Then I also work with plant health and protection at the Onderstepoort campus and WIMP, where we look at identifying aphids and traps, as well as pathogens, and I work there with Dr. Jacob's Venter. So my project is quite wide. I've got projects on plant phenomics, where I work with University of Pretoria, Grain Crops Institute, as well as University of Free State, where we look at how planting dates affect sunflower physiology under the Phenospec system on the Grain Crops Institute, as well as how it affects sunflower. So the idea is to help farmers understand when to plant better in a changing environment where we have problems with late rains, etc. I think what excites me about research in general is just being one of the first people to discover something, to understand how things work. So I was one of those children that always took things apart, couldn't always put them back together. There were always parts left, but I was one of those kids. I'm interested in how things are ticking. And it's a very exciting feeling to find something totally novel, and you're one of the first people or the first person to find that. And I think if you're one of those persons as a kid that wants to know how things work, and then I think research is definitely for you. Today also research are becoming at the cutting edge of technologies. So research are often pushing technologies to a new height. For example, next generation sequencing opened up a whole new way of doing medicine. And that was driven through research initially, and research is still pushing it. High throughput bioinformatics is pushing computing power, the need for high computing power. So I think research, when you study research, you can get to different areas. You don't necessarily need to end up in front of a lab bench. You could do computer research on computer analysis, or you can actually end up even in a bank if they want your programming skills. So research actually have a space for anybody to do research, basically. So I think researchers are probably very humoristic. We have a very good sense of humor. One of my colleagues got funded to work on a beer project. We had to taste the beer to be able to evaluate the beer, and he got funded for it. So researchers can work on a wide variety of topics, and by working on a wide variety of topics, you can be yourself in that topic. So yes, most researchers have a little bit of introversy in them. They like to be on their own, perhaps, but some of the most successful researchers are extroverts. So being an introvert, you'll have your space. But if you can talk to people and that's something you can learn, then you'll be more successful in the job. So there's a lot of funny things. Researchers just like to be playing the Mickey. Another researcher, for example, called one of his constructs as a plasmid. So for a plasmid, you always use a small p in front of the name. And he called it RIC, R-I-C. But with the p in front, it becomes prick. And so they only realized that, of course, once they've published the paper. But really? So yes, prick is the construct. And that's typically researcher. Researcher will typically do something like that. So yeah, it's an environment if you read between the lines, there's a lot of fun in research as well.